Unstable, unstable. Happy Sunday morning to you. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy Easter. Thanks so much for joining me today. I know we're going to have a smaller crew because it is a holiday, but I really appreciate everyone that is joining me this morning. If you're not, that's okay. If you're catching the replay later, I want to wish you and your family a very happy Easter. It is basically the start of spring, and we are all really, really excited for it. Speaking of spring, the weather here in northern Illinois has been absolutely gorgeous. Yesterday it was in the upper 50s, which 50 Fahrenheit, which is really nice and warm. The sun has been super warm on your skin. It's been fantastic. Of course, Mr. Wizard has told me that today the bottom is going to drop out and things are going to get nasty today. We've had a lot of rain, but that's all right. April showers bring May flowers, right? All right. Sorry guys, this is like really loud. Let's see if I can turn that music down just a little bit in my ear. It's screaming at me. Hold, please. There we go. Okay, that's much better. All right, so today we're going to be working on our resilient project, but before we do that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap of what happened last weekend. Last weekend, we did not have a live stream last weekend because I did a little bit of a travel. I did a little bit of traveling. I went down to central, southern Illinois, if you will. I was in the Peoria area to help my daughters celebrate their 21st birthday. For those of you new to the channel, I have twin daughters who celebrated their 21st birthday on the 21st of March. So it was really exciting. So it was a golden birthday. It was a big deal. We've been talking about it since they were little kids. So I wanted to make sure that I had some time to spend with them. So I took a little bit of an extra long weekend. I went down to Southern Illinois. It was supposed to be a road trip with my mom and my friend and my mom's bestie, Cheryl. Unfortunately, my mom got sick. She came down with the virus that shall not be named. Unfortunately, she came down sick. So Cheryl did go with me. It was super sweet of her to stay along with me. I really appreciated her being there. We had such a great time, and we visited a couple of quilt stores while we were down there. If you were part of our social media, our Facebook or our Instagram, then you will have already known this because I posted a couple of pictures of where we went. We did a little bit of an antique sale. It was actually an estate sale / storefront. It was really kind of cool, and I'll tell you about that just a little bit more in a second. But then I also went to a couple of quilt stores, which was a lot of fun, and of course we did a lot of other stuff and some partaked in a couple of adult beverages with our children, so that was a lot of fun as well. So thanks so much to everybody that sent them well wishes and happy birthdays. I really appreciated that. We even got a couple of cards in the mail, which was really kind of cool. So you know who you are. I really appreciate those gestures. That was really, really kind of you. So before I tell you a little bit more about what we did and what we picked up, and I'm sure you can see some of those pieces in the room already. Let me pop into chat, say hello to everybody in chat, and then we can come back and talk about those things real quick. Now, you guys know that one of the very first things I like to do about chat is I like to give a very special shout out to the first person that enters chat. And some people, my goodness, some people are in there so early. It's just amazing to me, and I'm absolutely grateful for that. The first person in chat today showed up about half an hour early. They weren't even sure if we were doing a live stream today, and they said, I'm not even sure if you're doing a live stream today. So they said, Happy Easter. That was Judy Hubert. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy shout out to you. Happy Easter to you. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Kathy's also in chat today. Hi, Kathy. It's so good to see you. Kathy took a couple of weeks off. She said she was going to take a little bit of time off from YouTube, and you know, Hannah, I get that. I understand that, and I'm going to have to do that myself here in a couple months because we've got a lot going on. So I get it. Sometimes you just need that mental break. You need to kind of catch yourself and reevaluate some things at home and things like that. So we totally understand. We hope you're able to get whatever it is you need to get done and then come back soon. So we appreciate that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who's in the house? Lucas is in the house. Good morning, Lucas. It's so great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Terry. Good morning. She's waving at me with her pink hands. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hi, Linda. Hello. How are you? I hope you are well. Hi, Katie. So good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in today. Hi, Sylvia. Gosh, I think it's been a while since I've seen you, Sylvia. So welcome back. Thanks so much for being here today. Joyce Hernandez is here. Hi, Joyce. So good to see you. Every time I see your name, I'm like, oh, Mom's here. Oh, no, not Mom. That's okay. Thanks so much for being here with us today. Teresa Lynch, hi, happy Easter to you too. Thanks so much for being here. Mona says, is live over? No, hon, it's just getting started. We are just getting started. So welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for being here today. Terry says, good morning, Danny and Chatters. Good morning, Terry. Thanks again. Just checking to see if I missed anybody. Mona says, rain and crappy here, but I don't have to cook, so that's a good thing. Absolutely, Mona, that is a fantastic thing. It's just me and Mr. Wizard this year for Easter. Usually we had all the kids together and everything else, but since all the kids are away at college, they all had their spring breaks early this year, so it's just me and Mr. Wizard, but I am still cooking a 10-pound ham for me and Mr. Wizard. Because as he said, it freezes really well. He loves ham. Absolutely loves ham. So he's like, it freezes just fine. We'll freeze some packages of it and we'll eat it later in the year. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be starting that. It's a spiral slice. I think it's pre-cooked already, so we just have to cook it for a couple hours, heat it up through. So that'll be lots of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Cullen, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Cullen is one of my coworkers from my 9 to 5, or as I like to say, my 7 to 6 job. So thanks so much for joining me this morning. Good morning. So good to see you. We call him Mr. Sparky. He's one of our electrical engineers. So thanks so much for joining us today. Hi, Betty. Happy Easter. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here. Awkward Quilter says, hi. Just a quick stop and go. Hitting the like button. We'll watch the replay. No problem, Awkward Quilter. Thanks so much for joining us today. Happy Easter to you. Thanks so much for being here. Brat46 says, happy Easter, everyone. Just came back from grocery shopping. Oh, girl, you're a trooper if you're trying to grocery shop this morning. I hope it wasn't too crazy out there for you. Hi, Sylvia. Good morning again. She says it's 37 degrees there by her. Oh my goodness, 37 degrees. I don't know what the temperature is right here. Right here it's 43. Right now it's supposed to get up to 53. But we got a 67% chance of rain. It's supposed to rain all day today. That's it. It's what it's supposed to do. Hi, Patty. Good morning. Happy Easter to you, Patty. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here. Okay. I think that's everybody in chat. If I missed you. Oh, hi, Jean. Good morning. So good to see you. If I missed you, please make sure you tag me in chat so I can say hello to you because I hate it when I miss people. Absolutely hate it when I miss people in chat. So, okay. Let me show you what I came down with. So, like I said, last weekend we went down to Peoria, Illinois. One of our first stops was the Wally gas station, which was just silly. That one's in Pontiac. And then we went and we stopped at a store called SOS Home. They're an estate sale, so they have their own little storefront, but they sell items from estate sales. And it's various different estate sales. It was so cool. And then they do a lot of TikTok videos. This is how we found them. They do a lot of TikTok videos. They do a lot of staging, things like that. So we walked around the whole store. Awesome store. If you guys are in that area, you've got to check it out. It's a really, really cool little store. Things are constantly rotating in and out, so you really have to catch them quick. Their prices are extremely reasonable for those things. Oh my gosh. They had entire dish china sets for like $25. I couldn't believe it. The prices were unbelievably reasonable. If you're an antique kind of person and you love antiques like I do, you are going to have just a great old time there. Some of the things there were just absolutely gorgeous. One of the things that I found that I found one and it was nice and I was like, oh, this is cute. And I'm like, I wonder if they have other ones. And then I found other ones and then I found the one I bought. Because I just absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it was just so cool. It really fits with the space here. It goes really well with my antique ironing board that I have that was a family heirloom. So I'm really excited for it. Is this really cool? It's really heavy. Antique iron. Check this out. This is actual cast iron. You can see the rough edges of it from where it was cast. It's all one piece. The thing weighs a ton. I have no idea how much it weighs, but it's really heavy, so I'm not going to hold it for very long. But it is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a flat bottom on it. Isn't this just like the coolest thing in the world? I absolutely love it. It is so heavy. I'm going to put it down. And then on top of that, I got this cute little stand to go with it. Isn't this adorable? It's a cute little stand. It's got 3 little legs on it. So you take that heavy iron and put it on there. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. I was teasing my kids and said, oh yeah, Mom bought a new iron, except this one you can't plug in. And they're like, is it cordless? I'm like, kind of. So I'm like, no, you gotta put it on the fire. And they're like, you gotta do what? They were so confused. It was so much fun. So much fun to tease them. But so yeah, so we got a new iron in the house. It's awesome. I don't think I'm going to be using it, but it's a beautiful display piece. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact that it's just like this rough iron. It's so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody's like, awesome. This is so cool. I know. I love it. So I'm going to put this away right now so that it's not, oh my God, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. I'm going to put it up here, because this is going to be its new home, at least for now. We've got lots of changes coming to the channel in the next couple of months. One of those is a new move. We're going to be moving. Not like houses, just rooms. And that's going to be coming over the next few months. So for right now, she can go up there. I haven't decided on a name for her yet, though. Let's like, if you guys have name suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I have not decided what I'm going to name her yet. Terry says, I had my grandma's coal iron. You filled it with hot coal. Terry, I saw one of those at that SOS home store. It was so cool. It even had like a detachable handle for it. It was really, really cool. Those things are just so cool. One of the other things I wanted to show you guys that I got, a couple of things real quick. These are just some goodies I got from the local quilt stores. I visited 2 in Peoria. They were on opposite ends. Well, actually, one was in Peoria, one was in Morton. I visited Quilts in the Valley, which is in it's in a small outdoor mall in Peoria. Unfortunately, when we got there, it took us a little bit to figure out where it was at. And then when we finally found it, the store had a sign on the front of the store. There was a sign on the front of the door that said that they had moved. They were still in the shopping mall, but they had moved to a different location. And I got to tell you, friends, when things like that happen, it just absolutely breaks my heart, because the size, you could tell that the size of the store that they were in was a very large store. It was very beautiful. It was the typical size of a quilt store. It was absolutely gorgeous. Then you walk over to their new location, and their new location is really just a storefront. You can tell that they had to downsize. They had a lot less things to choose from and things like that. And it broke my heart to see things like that. But I did try to make a couple of purchases there, just because I try to support local as much as I can whenever I'm in the areas. So I bought a couple of fat quarters. It wasn't anything of a major purchase, but I did buy a couple of fat quarters. I wanted to show them to you just because I loved the fabric designs on these. So this one, you guys know, lime green. Lime green's one of my favorite colors, right? I can't point today. Here. Lime green's one of my favorite colors. So I grabbed this one. Check that out. Isn't that cool? The stripes like that. That is just so neat. I absolutely love that. So I grabbed that one, and then I grabbed this one, which is just so cool. I love the different colors and textures. It's like an almost just like watercolor. I really loved that. And then this one is really hard to see on camera, but it's basically the same pattern as this green one, but it's in different shades of red. Yeah, the camera is not going to be able to pick this up because it's too much variation, but you can kind of see the stripes a little bit. If I kind of tilt it a little bit, you can kind of, oh, there you go. There you go. You can see the stripes a little bit more now. So I picked these up just because I thought they were really neat. I was trying to support the local store a little bit as much as I could. I checked out, they had a huge, huge selection of batik fabrics. And you guys know I love batiks. They had a huge selection of them, but I don't know. They were so beautiful, but all the ones that the ones that I really liked, I already have. So I'm like, well, that's not really going to work. And I was on a mission. I was looking for a gray background fabric that I'm going to need for one of the projects we're going to be working on in the next couple of months. And honestly, they didn't really have a whole lot of gray fabric there. Gray was probably just not the color that they support, really. So unfortunately, I didn't find any yardage there that I liked. I only got the fat quarters, but I was upset with myself because I wasn't really able to purchase more than I wanted to there. But anyway, if you guys are in the area of Peoria, make sure you check out Quilt in the Valley. They do have a Facebook page. I'll try and remember to post it. I don't remember what I did with it. I'll try and remember to post it on our Facebook wall as well, so you guys can check them out. So if you're in that area, make sure you check them out. The other quilt store that we went and saw was called Quilt Corner in Morton. It was in this little bitty strip mall on the side of the road. If you blink, you would have missed it. It took us forever to find it. GPS kept sending us all kinds of different places, but we did finally find it. Run by these lovely ladies. There was like 4 or 5 ladies there, so they were really, really busy. They were all super helpful, super nice. I loved it. It was your typical quilt store. Huge selections of fabrics to choose from. I absolutely loved it. I think we spent like 2 hours in the store just walking around, touching things, because it was the quilt store I was looking for. It was an absolute gem. I just loved it so much. And I ended up buying 2 different pieces of fabric on the bolt. So these are yardage pieces. The first one I told you about was the gray fabric that I found. This is the background fabric that I'm going to be using for one of our quilts. Let me see if I can find... Here, let me show you guys what we're going to be pairing that with, so you get a better idea of what we're doing here. I think it's Jelly Roll. Well, I have them both, so let me just pull it out so you guys can see it. Here. this is the fabric that we're going to be using. Come on, camera. There we go. This is the fabric that we're going to be using to go with this background. And I think it's going to work out perfect. I think it's going to be absolutely perfect. It's going to really pop with it. In fact, I have a jelly roll that might work better. Let me show you the jelly roll. I'm just going to dig in here for a second. I should have been more prepared for this, and I was not. Here's the jelly roll. The jelly roll might make it a little bit easier for you guys to see the colors a little bit better. There you go. So there's going to be a couple pieces I'm probably going to have to kick out. Some of these grays are not going to really work with that, but that's okay. So I think this is going to work really well. And I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it as well. Let me put these back. Oops. Okay, so that's this first piece that I bought. And now the second piece is a backing fabric that I purchased for our moderator, Mr. Lucas. You guys know that Mr. Lucas won a charm pack from us back on New Year's, I think. Last stream of the year, somewhere in there. He won a charm square pack. So we're going to be using that in a project, and I've bought some more fat quarters fabric to go along with it. What is the name of the layer cake? That was an excellent question, Terry. I'm sorry. It is by Clothworks. It's called Purple Rain by Clothworks. It was a sale, so I bought the layer cake. I'm so crazy. I bought the layer cake. I bought the jelly roll, and then I also bought a table runner kit. If you guys followed me when I had this was a couple years ago. When I had my quilt retreat a couple years ago, I made a table runner with it as well. So, Clothworks, Table Rain by Clothworks. So back to what I was talking about before. I'm sorry. You guys know me. I get distracted easily. Lucas says, ooh, I get to see it. Yes, because I teased him with it. So I bought a backing fabric for his quilt. So he won the charm pack. I bought him some fat quarters to go along with the charm pack so that we could make it into 2 charm packs so that there would be enough fabric for him to actually make a full-size quilt with. And then while I was at the store, I found this fabric that's in this bag. I'm going to show you in just a second. I found this fabric that I thought would make a perfect backing fabric for it. So it's going to be the back of the fabric. I tried to find something that was kind of masculine, not too feminine, but also went along with the colors that he has. Let me show you the charm pack that I have because I've had it sitting here for a while. Hyman still has his name on it. It's hard to see here, guys, but it's black fabric, black and white fabrics. And they're like cosmic colors. So they're like, it's called Beguiled by Jordan Fabrics. But it's like rainbow colors with black and white backgrounds. So I've been trying to find a background to go with it, and I found this background, and I absolutely love it. It's called Gradients Auras by Moda. Absolutely beautiful. Wait till you see this. It's so exciting. Check it out. Look at that. The camera's having a hard time. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's the rainbow colors against the black background, but it's not super bright. It's more of a pastel-y color to it. But it's still going to match really well. Look at that. I love these designs. And this is going to be on the background, so it's going to be the whole backing, so you're going to really be able to see all of these designs. Like, let me just open it up a little bit for you guys. Check that out. Is that not the coolest thing in the world? So it is. It's really interesting. I love it. I'm really excited to see what the whole thing is going to end up looking like as we get going. You guys will start to see that probably either the end of April or beginning of May. You'll start to see Lucas will be in here. I'm going to give him a couple of sewing lessons first, and then we're going to start the project. He's got to pick out a pattern. So we've got a couple of them nailed down. So he's going to pick out which pattern he wants, and then we're going to get started on that. It's going to be super exciting. So let me go ahead and put these away for now, and then we're going to get started on our Resilient project. Today we're going to be doing a little bit more cutting. Ooh. We've got a bunch of fabrics left that we still need to cut up. Last time we were here, we were cutting up these little bundles. Here, let me show you what we had. We were cutting up these little bundles. I've got a little 1-inch square here and then some other size squares here of each fat quarter. We are using the Clark Anne of Green Gables fat quarter bundle that I received as a Christmas gift a few years back, which it is still available. Some people were pointing out that it is still available. It's a beautiful, beautiful fabric line. Absolutely gorgeous fabric line. We went ahead and ironed everything up last time we were here, and we started doing some cutting. So we're going to be doing some more cutting today. We have to cut all of these fat quarters the exact same way. And I like to cut mine one at a time just to make sure that I'm doing everything the way it needs to be done. Let me just pop into chat real quick. I think I've missed a couple of things here. Kelly says, a local bakery makes a huge and delicious proper French croissants. It took a while for me. Took a while for me to eat it, so I was watching the chat but not participating. Oh, no problem, Kelly. Good morning, by the way. Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us today. Terry says, oh, beautiful. It looks like an oil spill. Patty, yeah, that's a great way of I was thinking, I mean, it's auras, so I was supposed to be like maybe a star cluster or something, but yeah, an oil spill works too. It was really pretty, and it's like little teeny tiny little dots. It's really, really cool. Jean says that'll be fun to watch. It will be. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited. I know Lucas has been really, really excited for it. It's been a matter of trying to get our schedules together. He had some things going on. I had some things going on, so we're gonna try and make it work for you guys. Hi, Tracy. Good morning. She says, hi, Danny. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here today. Lucas says, stay tuned to the channel because there's going to be a completely new sewer to the channel. Me. That's right. We're going to be putting him in the hot seat. He's going to be sitting here. He's going to be making a project. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sorry, just popping into chat, making sure I'm not missing anything. Terry, I pulled out all of my vintage sewing machines. Oh, wow. I'm excited to see that. So Terry says she's going to make a video of her vintage sewing machine, so that's really exciting. If you guys aren't already a member of her channel, make sure you go check her out. I think it's !Tracy in chat. Lucas is going to be a natural. Absolutely. Yep. One of them actually works, she says. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I've got my instructions here. I've got my binding clips because we've been holding them pieces together with binding. Let me grab a ruler. I like this 6x12 ruler. I really like it. I seem to use that a lot more than anything else. This is a fairly new blade. We'll see if we need to change it out. I have not used it since the last time we did cutting, so hopefully we'll be able to do that here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 4 rows of 4 1/4. Because of the size of the space that I have for sewing, I do have to fold a lot of my fabrics in half, which sometimes you get that little weird curve in them. So that's why I usually like to leave this a little bit of extra so that I can update them if I need to. Let's see. Line up those edges. Let me see what I got going on here. All right. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. That's a little much. Leave a little extra there. All right. So what is everybody else working on right now? I know that I have actually put everything kind of on hold here for a little bit because I was on vacation last weekend, you guys know. And then we've got a bunch of stuff going on the channel. I just started a new project. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. It's going to be black, white, and red. So I'm really excited about that. I've done a quilt like this before. I did the, what did I do? I do not remember now. I don't remember the name of the pattern now, but it's black, white, and red. I'm doing that kind of off camera. That's just going to be a project for me. It's not necessarily anything for the channel. Sometimes you got to do, especially when you've got a channel like this, sometimes you've got to do projects just for yourself to kind of keep yourself motivated and excited and things like that. So otherwise, all the other projects that we're working on are on the channel. We do them all as live streams. Yay, live streams. And that's just kind of how we work. 4 1/4. Okay. So I need to cut 4 of these. 1. This pattern is called Resilient. It really showcases large print fabrics, and that's kind of why I chose it for this Anne of Green Gables fabric line. It's because it really showcases the larger fabrics. Sorry, I can't cut and talk at the same time. It really showcases the larger fabrics, which is one of the reasons why I chose it. And it's really pretty. Here, let me remind you guys what it looks like. That's what it looks like. They look like double X's almost. It's really kind of cool. But all it uses is fat quarters. There's no background fabric. There's nothing else. It's just fat quarters. So it's going to be really exciting. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. Oops. Go. Extras for right now. All right. I need 3. This one needs to be trimmed. That's right. Let me trim this one up real quick. This first cut I made a little bit long so that I could make sure to give myself a nice clean cut. I always cut the first one a little bit extra so then that way I can trim it down. Uh-oh, so Terry. Oh, so people are talking about some of the projects they're looking at. Sorry about that. Let's see. Sylvia says she's in the process of using her smaller scraps. She says, a bribe to myself to open a kit I purchased. Jean says she's working on a veteran's quilt. May just be for herself. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Terry's mad at Streamlabs because she didn't win. I'm sorry. Kelly says the collaborators are making blocks to test out our designs are okay and working out the way they are supposed to. Ooh, sounds like fun. Terry says, I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. If you guys are not already followers, please make sure you go follow Kelly's channel. Not only does she do sewing and quilting, but she also does cruises, too. It's lots of fun. She takes us along on the ride with her when she goes. It's a lot of fun. I try and catch her channel as often as I can. All right. Okay. So now we're going to lay these out. Do one on top of the other. Like this. All right, I've got my 2 strips here. I need to do 4.5 inch squares. I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So let's go ahead. I'm sorry, 4.25 inch squares. So let's go ahead and do those real quick. One. Two. 3. Okay. A couple of scrap pieces here. And then these last 2 squares, let me grab all of these. These last 2 squares, we're going to cut these down even further. Trim them up real quick. One of these days, I'm going to invest in one of those rotating mats because I feel like every time I use them, I end up finding, or every time I cut fabric, I end up finding a use for them. So I think I might invest in them. I think I might. All right, so there's those. And then these, are these 1-inch pieces? They are 1-inch pieces, so I can use these. Okay, I need 6 half-inch sample squares. So these are 1 inch. I think, did I do half-inch or did I do? I think I did 1 inch, not half-inch. Let me just check. Yeah, I did all of them as 1 inch. That's okay. Just grab these real quick. Trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know how to do this. So in order to lay out the fabrics, the pattern actually recommends you cut up these little sample pieces out of your scrap fabrics to help you lay out the fabric for your final layouts. It makes things a little bit easier before you try to sew everything up together. So we're going to do that real quick. Sorry for the dog bark in the background. All right. Here's our 6 little pieces. I've been keeping all of the fabrics together just with a binder clip, which is why I got my big bucket of binder clips right here. Go. Now the pattern doesn't call for the half-inch squares. They recommend that because they give you, let me show you, a little thing here, a little chart on the back to lay out all of your pieces to make sure that you have everything laid out correctly. And these are half-inch blocks, so I'm actually going to blow this up to use 1-inch blocks here before we lay it out, but that's what it's going to look like there. So then that way you can make sure that you're using all 6 of the pieces, because this pattern allows you to use all 6 colors. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All 6 fabrics. All right, so I've got this one done. I'm holding on to the bigger pieces of our scraps, and all the little teeny tiny pieces I'm not going to bother keeping those. All right, next one. This t-shirt keeps rolling up here in the back. Hang on. What am I missing in chat? Kathy says, "Hi, Danny. I'm sorry I'm late." Oh, Kathy, you weren't late. You said hello this morning, you silly girl. Mona says she just put together an outside storage box, and she says they sure don't make them like they used to. They don't make anything like they used to anymore. No, I was looking at when I was at that antique store. I was looking at some of the dressers and some of the furniture there, and it was just absolutely beautiful, the furniture there. And it's like, they don't make stuff like this anymore. I mean, it was all solid oak. Just absolutely beautiful pieces. And it was like, man, I wish they made stuff like this still, you know? Oh, I found this absolutely beautiful twin trundle bed, and I'm still dreaming about it. It was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where I would put it, but it was absolutely beautiful. All right, on to the next one. So we're just going to keep cutting these exactly the same way every time. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. Happy Easter to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Good morning. I'm surprised at how many are able to join us this morning. I did not expect so many. I know with that being a holiday, I figured everybody was at church or with their families, which is completely understandable and absolutely where you should be. But I am grateful to everyone that's hanging out with me this morning. Just cutting up fabric today. I'm not sure that we're going to get to a whole lot of sewing today. We have a bunch of fat quarters we still need to cut up for this project. If you guys are interested in making this pattern, you can go ahead and grab a free copy of it. There's a website down below in the description. I think you'll have to sign up for the newsletter, and then she sends you the pattern. I can't remember if it's just available or if you have to sign up for the newsletter. I did sign up for the newsletter either way. All right. I'm going to lay these down now. One on top of the other. I'm only doing 2 layers. Tracy says, hubby and I are cooking a ham in the oven today. We are as well, Tracy. We're doing a spiral sliced ham, so it's probably pre-cooked already. We're basically just warming it in the oven. But it's just me and Mr. Wizard. No kids this year. So a 10-pound ham is going to be more than plenty for just the 2 of us. Alright, sorry guys, can't talk and cut at the same time. It's like chewing gum and walking. It just doesn't work. That didn't cut anything. I felt that. There we go. Okay, I need to take these off. I need my glasses to read the screen for chat, but then I can't have my glasses on to cut. I'm getting to that point. Oh, good morning, Terry. Looks like we got a new subscriber. So, Terry. Oh, just tipped $5. Oh, Terry, you are so sweet. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Sorry, the tipping sounds and the new subscriber sounds are the same. So I apologize for that. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. That always goes towards the purchase of new products and new projects on the channel. I hang on to that. I leave that in the PayPal account until I'm ready to purchase new stuff for the channel. So thank you for that. That's very much appreciated. There we go. There we go. Okay, set these aside for now. All right, grab these. Try to do myself a little bit of a favor here and line these up a little bit better this time. I gotta pop my glasses on in order to read chat. Sorry, guys. Kelly says son is going to the girlfriends for Easter and they're having tacos. I mean, I guess that works. I mean, I'm okay with that. Sylvie says fat fingers today. No worries. Mona says her daughter is making chicken parm and cheesecake for dessert. Yum. When should we stop by? Yum. Brad says I'm making a ham loaf with butternut squash and biscuits. Ooh. I have heard of a ham loaf. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not my favorite, but I have tried it before, and I think it's wonderful if that's something that you like. It's not for everybody. All right. Sylvia says typing issues. No worries, Sylvia. No worries. I have those all the time. I have reading issues too. Like I see words that aren't there, and then like there's just weird, crazy things that I do sometimes. All right. Get rid of that. Roll that over. Alright, there's our smaller one, and then we just need our little ½ inch. This says ½ inch. I'm doing 1 inch. Because like I said, I'm going to go ahead and blow that picture up so it's a little bit bigger for everybody to be able to see it when we do it later. There we go. So I'm doing 1 inch pieces for right now. But if you're doing the pattern yourself, it does say to do ½ inch pieces. Two, three, there we go. And like I said, these are just little samples, so I just used the leftover scraps to make those. There we go. Come on. Laid it all out, nice and pretty, and it still doesn't work. Go figure. My hands do not want to work today. Have you guys been having trouble with your hands lately? Like mine just don't want to work. All right. Next piece of fabric. We're just going to keep going. We're making, I could probably cut these 2 at a time. Honestly, I probably could, but I get really worried when I cut them more than 1 at a time. So I'd much rather take my time. I know it's not super exciting content for you guys. But you know, this is all kind of part of the project, and that's why we do our live stream projects are completely from start to finish. We iron up the fabrics, we cut them completely from start to finish, and you're always welcome to sew along if you choose. We don't do any official sew alongs here on the channel, but you're always welcome to sew along if you choose. Sojourney, thank you so much for that. That is so kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that, guys. You guys are so generous today. Tipping is never required, but always appreciated. Thank you very much. Oops. 2. All right, number 4. Tracy says, I figured it out. LOL. I'm sorry if it's difficult. I really need to, one of the things gotta be doing hopefully in the next month or so is kind of looking at the channel and trying to update some things. I also want to get a website going. I purchased the URL, so the name of the website. I just don't have it up yet. One of the things I want to do is I want to set that up as well so that you guys have kind of a better place to go to reference things. This one actually might be the one that's too big. I also want to start a birthday club. I have this idea in my head that I want to start a birthday club where if you sign up for it, then I'll send you a birthday card with a little gift in it for your birthday. Because I think birthdays should be celebrated. So once I get the website up and running, then you guys will be able to sign up for the birthday club if you're interested in it. Ooh, I want the mug. Now I have to figure this out. Oh. Oh, are you talking about the merchandise? There is merchandise on the channel. Yes, I've always had it there. It's through Streamlabs. It's nothing fancy. It's just our logo. But yeah, there is merchandise there. You guys can. I mean, I don't promote it. And honestly, I've never bought it myself, so I have no idea what type of quality it is, if I'm being honest. I really should buy them myself, right? But there is merchandise available on the channel. It's there through Streamlabs. Judy says hers was yesterday. Judy, I'm assuming you mean your birthday was yesterday and you had a great celebration. So I'm glad to hear that. That is awesome. Sylvia says her birthday was last week. Well, happy birthday, Melina. My daughter's birthdays were last week as well. I have twin girls. They turned 21 on the 21st. That was really exciting. That's why I wasn't here last weekend. When I left, so we all went to Peoria, which is where my one daughter, Taylor, that's where she goes to school. She has an apartment there. And when I left her on Sunday, she had an entire fridge. And I mean, I am not kidding you, an entire fridge full of alcohol when I left her. That's all she had in the fridge. I'd even offered to take her grocery shopping, and she said, no, that was okay. She had to make room first. She had a great weekend. It was really funny. Neither of my children overindulge in alcohol. It's just not something they've ever done. Obviously, I know they're 21, so things are going to probably be a little different for a little while. But yeah, it was pretty funny leaving her fridge full of alcohol. All right, grab those. Somebody mentioned pretty fabric, and yes, this is absolutely beautiful fabric. Oh, look at that! Terry bought a mug. That is so cool. Well, congratulations, Terry. I hope it's awesome. You'll have to send me pictures of it because I'd love to see it. I actually don't own one. I really should buy one for myself. And I really should, and I haven't, and I should. So maybe I'll buy one for myself. I'd love to see pictures of it though. Jean says I'm too old now, so I just subtract a year on my birthday. You know what, Jean? I made that announcement this year for my birthday. My birthday was in January. I made that announcement. I said, okay, I've officially reached the age where I'm going to start subtracting now instead of adding. I think that's how we're going to go with this now. For sure, 100%. Terry, I'm really excited for you to get that mug. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Make sure you send me pictures of it. Post it on our Facebook and our Instagram. I really need to buy some for myself, I think. Like, I honestly forgot it was there. I completely forgot that you can get merchandise from Streamlabs. I completely forgot about it. And it, like I said, it's just not something that I promote a lot because I forgot about it. But it's there if anybody wants it. And the channel does get a little bit of a kickback for it. A little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I think it's like 25% or something. Might even be less than that. But congratulations. I hope you enjoy it. I have no idea what the shipping restrictions are. I don't know if it ships to Canada or even overseas. I have no idea. I don't handle any of that. That's all through Streamlabs. It was one of those things where you can set up for free through Streamlabs when you sign up for your service. So I did, just for fun. It is my channel logo. Yep, absolutely. Mona, if you do !tip in chat, it'll give you a link. Or if you go down in the description, there's a link there as well. Oh, Mona, thank you very much for that. You guys are so kind today. So generous today. My goodness. How did I get to be so lucky? Thank you so much for that. You guys are amazing. Like I said, every dollar that is tipped to the channel goes right back into the channel towards the purchase of new projects and projects. The money that I used for to purchase the fabric, not the fabric for Lucas, because that came out of my stuff, but the gray fabric that we're going to be using for the channel, that all came out of donations. So thank you for that. Mona says, okay, found it. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Tracy says, this is such a fun day. It is. It's always a fun day. Always a fun day here on the channel. I am biased, I know, but I feel like this is probably one of the most fun channels. We don't always do fun projects, but we talk about a lot of fun things. We do a lot of fun stuff. I'm really excited about the mug. That is really cool. I completely forgot about that. I need to, in fact, I'm going to make myself a note because I should really, you know, I really should have that merchandise here just so that I can see it. So, order merch. I should have it here and I don't. So I will look at that myself and see if I can purchase a couple of things for myself. Hi, Marie. Good morning. So great to see you. Happy Easter to you. Aw, Terry, you're so sweet. Thank you. She says it's always fun. It's always a fun day here. Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. What did I do with my cut? Oh, here it is. Here's the cutting wheel. We're just cutting fabric today. It's super boring with regards to the project itself. A lot of other fun things going on, though. Obviously, it's Easter. You guys like my bunny ears? My bunny ears. They were a donation from my children from when they were kids. They're probably vintage now, but they're still clean, which is weird. Somebody asked me once where I get all my silly hats from. Most of them I have purchased from my local grocery store or from my Meijer. I have a Meijer grocery store here that I purchased some of them from. Some of them were donations from my children, like my bunny ears from when they were kids. Thank you for that. Wow, Sylvia, that's fantastic. Sylvia says she's procrastinating. She says she's getting ready to do her walking 4 to 5 miles today. Wow, that is so awesome. Terry, I forgot about it. Like I said, I mean, I knew it was there. I've known it was there for a long time. I just completely forgot about the merchandise. Yeah, you can. There's T-shirts. There's coffee mugs. I think there's mouse pads there. There's a bunch of. I think there was sweatshirts you could choose from, and all it is it's just our logo, our So Not an Expert logo. Nothing too super fancy. But if you're interested in, you're more than welcome. I think it's under the tip page because it brings you to my tip website, and then from there you can see some of the merchandise. Yeah. Not yet, Mona. I do not have channel memberships. Nope. I have to get up my views up. So I have 500 subscribers, but I don't have the 3,000 views yet. So one day we'll see. For now, it's just the tips. If you can go on, if you're interested, you can go through the Streamlabs where you went to that tip page, and you can actually set it up as a membership through there. It's not memberships through YouTube; it's a membership through Streamlabs. But you can set it up for monthly. They're basically a donation or a tip. I don't do anything special for those just yet. There really haven't been enough to be able to do anything with. Eventually, when I get to a point where I have the membership set up on YouTube, I have some ideas of some of the things I want to do then. But we're not there yet. But that's okay. We'll get there someday. Time to start binge watching. Well, Tracy, that's very kind of you. With it being a live stream channel, I understand all the episodes are at least 2 hours long, so it makes it a little bit harder. But, it is what it is. I have always told you guys, and I will say this till the day I die, that this channel is not about making money, although, that is helpful. But it is never going to be about making money or earning a living on this channel. It is always going to be about having fun and making fun projects. So if there's a tip, great. If not, that's okay too. I support the channel all on my own. That's why we don't do anything too crazy. But yeah, it's nice though to be able to help with that kind of stuff. But eventually, I'm sure the membership will come and, things like that. But there is a way to set it up so that you can do a monthly, I think it's a monthly tip on the Streamlabs website if you want to. Again, I really don't talk about this stuff, guys, because, I don't want anyone to think to feel obligated to give any money towards the channel. It's obviously, it's never, ever, ever required. Always appreciated, but never required. So I just don't talk about it much. But there are options there. If you're so inclined and so interested. I did have one subscriber last year that was a regular I don't want to say member because it wasn't really member, but it was a regular donation on the channel every month. Unfortunately, they had some additional expenses, so they had to cancel, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But those really helped out with purchasing some of the fabric and things that we used on the channel. Never, ever, ever required. Always free. Have a great day, Terry. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Happy Easter to you. I hope you and your family have a fantastic evening or day or evening. Don't eat too much. We'll see you next week. Spiritual meaning, she says. Hi, Fern. Fern says, I'm late. What's Danny making? Danny is working on the Resilient project. This is only part 2, so we're still in the process of cutting up our fabrics. This is one of those longer term projects, a full-size quilt. So it's going to be a little bit before you start seeing me sewing. I got a lot of cutting to do. Each fat quarter is cut up into smaller pieces. Usually takes 2 or 3 episodes before we get all the pieces cut up. I can show you what the pattern looks like in just a second. There's also a link to it in the description box below. I try and keep links to all of our patterns and our fabrics in the descriptions below. A couple of subscribers have left some tips or donations to the channel, which I thought was very kind of them. Never required. One of our subscribers actually purchased some merch from us. A mug. I'm really excited to see it. I keep forgetting it's there. All right. She says she collects mugs, so she's really excited about it. I am excited about it too. Bye, Kelly. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. I hope you have an awesome Easter. Enjoy your ham. Sylvia wants to know, how do I label and store my cut pieces until they're sewn? Sylvia, that is a fantastic question. It depends on the project. For this particular project, all of the pieces are cut exactly the same way. So I'm actually just kind of stacking them up and then just using some binder clips to hold them together. And I'm not marking them with anything because they're all basically the same. Sometimes I will use some alpha biddies. Let me show you some. Ooh, sorry about that. That was loud. Sometimes I'll use some alpha biddies. And then I'll mark them with the alpha biddies. If I have a lot of little pieces, I'll use some labels. I actually have some pre-printed, pre-cut labels pages over there in my office stuff that I will use sometimes as well. But I store everything that I have in this, oh, you guys can't even see it, in this purple bin here. I have 10 of these, actually. 10 or 12. I don't remember how many of them I have now. But I store everything for the project in this bin until it gets to be too big. And usually I can store everything in here until we're getting to a point where we're actually sewing up the rows. And then that's when things kind of get a little bulky. But for the most part, I can get everything in there. And that's how I store them. And so then that way I store everything in this bin. So when I'm ready to pull it, I just pull the whole bin out and everything is right there. Really cool for me. Marie says, Danny, I came in late. How was the weekend birthday trip with the family? Sorry. I'm sure you've probably told everyone already. Oh, no worries, Marie. It was awesome. I had a great weekend with the kids. My daughters turned 21, so we had a lot of fun. I visited 2 quilt stores. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You'll have to check the replay. After this video is done, check the replay, and I'll show you a couple of goodies that I got from my trip. I bought a couple of different fabrics that we're going to be using in upcoming projects. And then I also bought, you can barely see it, right here in this corner here, right there. It's an antique cast iron. Like when you would put on the fire and heat up. Yeah, it was really cool. I found that at an antique store. I was really excited about it. So that is the newest member of our quilt cave. But yeah, we had a great time. I tried not to be, the girls had a bunch of friends with them too. It wasn't just parents, it was a bunch of friends too. So I tried not to be the annoying parent. I tried to give them their space and just kind of do my own thing for most of the weekend and just kind of catch up with them a little bit here and there. So we did a lot of running around and enjoyed it. I kind of wish I had one more day. I would have liked they've got a casino by her. It's called Paradise, DICE. Yeah. Little casino out there, riverboat, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to try and catch that, but there just wasn't enough time. I was only there Friday, Saturday, and then I came home Sunday. So, but you know what? My daughter lives down there, so I really just need to make an effort to go down there more often. It was only a 2.5 hour drive, so I really have no excuse. She's got her own apartment down there, so she lives down there year round, not just for the school year. So I should just make an effort to go down there more often. But you know, life gets busy and you forget. She works as well. She works quite a bit. She works, I think, 30 some hours a week and goes to school full time. So she's really busy. Jean says, I'm sorry, I had to really laugh out loud when you said you have 10 of the bins. I have over 100 and other all filled with whips. There you go. Well, you know what, Jean, I don't have the space. Otherwise, I probably would have that many. You know, and I'm fairly new to quilting. I've only been doing it 5 or 6 years now. And this quilt room that you guys see here, this is only recent because this used to be the bedroom of one of my daughters who's a junior in college now. So I've only had this room for 3 years. So I'm very limited in my space in this room. I mean, what you guys see, that's it that I have. The whole rest of the room, and it's not a very big room, but the rest of the room is still basically bedroom stuff. But we are going to be switching around bedrooms. My other daughter has the bedroom next door, and she also is in college. She's also a junior in college because they're twins, you know. And she comes home for the summer, excuse me, in the holidays, but she really doesn't need the big room anymore. So I did tell her that this summer, especially since she's planning to move out after she graduates next year anyway, I told her this summer, since she's going to be home, I'm going to ask for her help, and we're going to switch rooms around. So I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks off of the channel to kind of make those switches, as well as some vacation time coming up as well. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of work because we have to repaint both rooms. We have to replace the flooring in the one room. So it's going to be a lot, but I'm really excited for it. I know that they're going to help with it. I'm sure Lucas will help as well if I ask him to. I know Tony's not super excited about it because she likes having the bigger room, but it makes more sense, you know. She's not here anymore, you know. She doesn't really live here anymore. She lives at school now, so it just makes more sense to utilize the space. Our house is very, very small, very, very tiny. It's less than 1,000 square feet. So we have to utilize every inch of space we can. And so I'm excited about it. Terry says, I wonder if anyone ever does a de-stash fabric swap. You know, Terry, I've been thinking about that myself. Sylvia says, I'm amazed at everyone with those bins. One project for sewing machine out till done. I have hand projects in zipper travel bags. Yeah, well, I mean, with the channel, I don't like to do the same thing all the whole time because it gets really boring. So I like to rotate my project out. So that's why I have so many bins, is because as I'm preparing for a new project, I'll put. So when I buy my fabric, because I have such a small space, I can't really buy fabric just to buy it. I have to buy it with usually with a project in mind. That's not to say I don't buy fabric just to buy it, but for the most part, all of the fabric that I have, everything you see here actually has a project in mind. There's stuff behind this sign here, but these all have a project in mind. It's just a matter of when I get to them. Once I've gotten to a point where I have all of the pieces that I need to start the project, or I know I'm going to get ready to start the project, I'll pull out one of my empty bins, because I do have a couple of empty ones left. I'll pull out an empty bin and I'll put everything in the bin. So then that way it's all together. I've got the pattern, I've got the thread, I've got the fabric that I need, I've got everything ready to go. And then as I start to cut the pieces, I keep them there as well. So it's just my way of keeping organized. Everybody does their own thing. Whatever works for you is the best way to do it. This is just what I do. But I have found that these bins, especially with the YouTube channel and switching out projects every week and rotating them in and out and things like that, these bins have become a lifesaver for me. An absolute 100% lifesaver for me. Because like with our cotton cut stuff, I have a bin specific for cotton cuts that's separate from everything else. I have it up here. That's why I keep pointing up here. There's up here on the cabinet. I pull that down. I open it up. It's got everything I need for my cotton cuts project right there in the bin, including my thread and my thimbles and thimbles. Listen to me. My thread and my bobbins are also in there as well. So that's just the way I stay organized. Everybody does their own thing. If you do have multiple projects going, it can be difficult. And then the other thing is once once the top is complete for the project, I will transfer it to, in most cases, depending on the size of it, especially with the table runner stuff, I'm able to transfer it to just a Ziploc bag. And then I put them in the bins until it's actually finished. I have an entire bin full of whips. You guys laughed at me because of my plastic bins, but I have a bin here. Is this one? Yeah, it's this one here. Full of Ziploc bags that are just all of my whips. I have like each one, each Ziploc bag is a whip. And one of the goals for this year is to go through this bin and start to finish some of these whips. And most of these, actually, I think all of those are table runners. Because they're small. They're not full-size projects. The full-size projects, we start those from start to finish, and I send those off to a long arm. But those are all just table runners. Thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia says, I understand why I really like the variety of projects, too. I get so bored. I get bored really easily, so I cannot work on the same thing every week. That would make me insane. So that's why I'm constantly rotating. I think we have 5 projects on the channel right now that I rotate out every month. So then that way you don't always see the same things. And then every once in a while, I'll throw in a whip in UFO. And basically that's just whatever I feel like working on that day. Whether it be a mug rug or whether it be some free motion quilting or whether it be one of the whips or UFOs from inside my bin. It just depends on how things are going. Hi, Patty. Good morning. I think I said hello to you already, but if not, good morning. Thank you. Jean says, Danny, I've been quilting for over 40 years, taught quilting and worked at a quilt shop. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Well, Jean, there is nothing wrong with that. And you know what, hon? I really hope to one day be able to say that myself. I'm a sewer. I've been a sewer since I was a little kid, but quilting itself is new to me. It's only about 5-ish years, I want to say. 5, maybe 6. 4. What year did? 5 years. 5 or 6 years. Is how long I've been quilting. So not a really long time. Definitely do not consider myself an expert, hence the name of the channel. I do not consider myself an expert by any means. Jean, you would definitely be an expert, having been doing this for 40 years, teaching classes and things like that. That's just exciting. One day I hope to be able to work in a quilt store, but who knows, by that time they may not be there anymore. So who knows? Hopefully not. I hope that's really not the case. But who knows? Tracy says, I'm making a project bag to hold my project bag kit. How's that for irony? Oh, I love that. That is awesome. One of these days, I really want to make one of those big tote bags. Have you seen those? The quilt patch, the really big like suitcase bags. I would love to make one of those one of these days. Fern wants to know, do I quilt my own quilts or do I send them out to be quilted? It depends on the size, Fern. You guys have seen my machine. I only have the one machine and you guys can kind of see my space here. So, trying to free motion quilt a full size quilt is very, very difficult for me. I have done a twin size quilt once before. And that's about as big as I could go with it, and that was really difficult. So the full size quilts, the bed quilts, those types of things, I usually send those to a long arm. She does those for me. She's local to the area. She's about 20 minutes away from me. She does fantastic work. And she gets it done within like a week or two, and she's so much better at it than me. It takes so much less time. It's a little bit more money, obviously, but so much less time, and it works out really well for me. It usually costs me anywhere from $150 to $200 for her to do it, but she pays for the batting as well. So she charges me for the quilting, the batting, the thread, the whole thing. So I really think it's worth it. It saves a ton of time because otherwise it would take me forever, especially on this little bitty machine to do it. So if it's a table runner or like pillowcases or things like that, I'll do those myself. Mug rugs, I'll do those myself because I can do those here on my small machine. But the full size ones, yeah, I send those out because it's just way too much work for me here. Maybe someday I'll have a long arm, but that's not really in the budget right now. Maybe someday, but that's not really in the budget right now for sure. Oh, see, Jane, I knew you and I were going to be best friends. Jean says, "Oh no, never an expert. I learn every day just like everyone else." And that is exactly the reason for the name of this channel. Somebody asked me once if I would ever consider myself an expert, and the answer to that is no. No, it will never happen because I feel like I learn something new every day, and there is always somebody else out there that's going to teach me something. So I don't feel like I will ever be an expert, and that's exactly why. Sylvia says she sent a few to long armors before, but mostly she quilts her own. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think that's absolutely amazing. Fern says she hand quilts hers, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. You have a hand quilter has the highest level of respect from me, because I can't hand sew to save my life. I mean, I can't even like close, like when you pull through, I can't even hand stitch the little. I can't even do that. So if you hand stitch your own, you have the highest level of respect in my book because I can't do that. I can't even get close to it. So that's why everything is machine sewn, or I send it off to somebody else because I cannot hand sew to save my life. I can do cross stitch, but that's because there's little holes that you put the needles through and you just count them. I can do that. I can do counted cross stitch, but otherwise no, I can't. I can't. Yes, table runners. Yeah, I do my own on table runners too. Sylvia says she has one that she's hand quilting right now. Sylvia, we would love to see pictures of it if you're willing to share those. If you go onto our Facebook or Instagram page, you can post pictures there. We'd love to see it. If you do exclamation point links, LINKS, in chat, it'll give you links to both our Facebook and our Instagram. Make sure you go become a member over there and post pictures of it. There's a lot of people over there that post pictures, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of them. A lot of birthday wishes from last week, so I appreciated that as well. We have a great time over there. Jean says, I hand quilt some, domestic machine some, and do a lot of long arm. Starting in the inventory of quilts to be quilted today and prioritizing. I have over 20 just for charity presently to quilt. Wow. Jean, that is a lot. And for those of you who don't already know, Jean it has her own channel, so make sure you go hang out with her for a few minutes. If you do exclamation point Jean in chat, it'll give you a link. She is super, super talented. She has this amazing quilt. I think she calls it the... Oh, Jean, remind me again. It's a quilt cavern, quilt quilt cabin, I think she calls it. It's beautiful. I love her paint colors. I love the quilts that she's got behind her. She's so talented. Like I said, I consider her, she doesn't consider herself one, but I consider her an expert. So make sure you go check her out. Super, super exciting about that. I love catching her channel. I catch it quite often. Actually, I am ashamed to admit this, but I actually end up catching her channel more than I catch some of my other content creator friends, which I really need to get better. Stitching Cottage. Thank you. Yes, I knew it was close. She calls it the Stitching Cottage. It is so cute, and I absolutely love it. If you're when you think of a quilt studio or a quilt room for yourself, that is the room that you want. Is her Stitching Cottage. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it is definitely a controlled chaos, a lot like mine. It's a controlled chaos. You know where everything is at, but no one else is going to be able to find it, and that's what I love about it so much. Fern says, I've been sewing since I was in the third grade, so many years ago. Oh, Fern, me too. We won't say how many years ago that was, but yes, I too have been sewing since I was in third grade. Jean is being modest. Jean, I try to support all of our content creator friends. I have so many of them, and I am truly grateful for each and every one of my content creator friends on the channel. I absolutely love them, and so I will just promo the heck out of your channels because I love all of you. Mona is a great channel to go check out if you're not already. Hers is fantastic. Jean's is fantastic. Terry's is so cool. She does a lot of work with vintage sewing machines, which is really amazing. Tracy from Sojourney, hers is amazing. I love catching her channel whenever I can find it. For some reason, my subscription thing doesn't always catch hers, so I try to make sure that I make the time and energy to go to each of my content creator friends specifically to make sure that I'm catching their channel. Kathy's channel, of course, you guys know Kathy's channel is awesome. I love watching Kathy's channel because it's like a quilt retreat every time. She's like me, she does live streams exclusively, but she never does them by herself. She always has guests in there with her, and it's so fun because it's like a quilting retreat every time you watch. It's so much fun. I love watching those. They're a lot of fun. So make sure you check those out as well. We have so many content creator friends here on this channel. I am just so grateful for each and every one of them. If you guys do *creators in chat, it'll give you a list of all of our content creator friends and the commands for each one of their channels. And then you can just spam the chat with each one of theirs to make sure you follow every single one of them. Yeah. Absolutely, Jean. I'd love to join you live. Yeah, 100%. Send me an email. We can chat about it for sure. 100%. I love joining other channels. It's just so much fun to be able to do things like that. And I have Zoom on my channel now, so I'll be able to invite some guests here as well. And I'll start doing that here soon. I've just been trying to run through so many things lately. Thank you, Fern, for that. That's just some of them. That list just keeps growing, so it's gonna be like three things long at least. Yes, the vintage sewing machines on Terry's channel. Yeah, it's so much fun. There you go. So thank you for that, Fern. Yeah, that's just some of our content creator friends. Lucas tries to keep that command as up to date as possible, but I'm fairly certain there's a couple of them that are missing. So if you are a content creator and your name is not in that list, please make sure that you let Lucas and I know so we can make sure to get you added to that. The Siberian Wind, yeah, she's in there too. I think I saw her. I think I might have seen her name pop up in chat, so she may be here. If she is, good morning. I'm so sorry I missed you. I feel like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute. I think I know her name. I think I saw her today. So look at all of those friends. I am so grateful to each and every one of those. All right, we got to get back to cutting or we're never going to finish this. We've got about half an hour left of the stream, and I've only cut up 2. It's terrible. Look, I'm like, we need to up the pace here. We're never going to get this done. My goodness, we're going to be here for days doing this. All right. Right. Two. All right. 3. I don't know if you guys can see me doing this, but I pull the fabric apart just ever so slightly so that I can make sure that I find my cut mark. Why is this like being all weird? Just so that I make sure that the ruler is lined up with the exact cut mark. Sometimes it can be hard to see with the darker fabrics, especially to see that line. So, okay. Up. Flip this one around. I do not use my mat to measure. I use my ruler to measure. Not that there's anything wrong with my mat. My mat is accurate, at least based on the ruler. I just like to use the ruler to measure. So that's why you guys will see me flip pieces around and things like that. And that's because I'm using my ruler to measure. The key here is if you're going to use your mat, it's fine if you want to use your mat. But then you want to use your mat all the time. You don't want to switch back and forth between your mat and your ruler because otherwise things can get a little wonky. Because, 2 things are not always 100% accurate. So, there we go. Jean says intermission over, back to quilting. Jean, you know what it is I get distracted. You guys know this. I get distracted very easily. I have ADD, and so I get distracted very easily. And, you guys ask me a question that requires a little bit more of an answer than just a quick one. And I want to make sure that I give you guys, I'm one of those people that when I have a conversation, I like to make eye contact. And so because the camera's over here, I have to stop and I have to turn and I have to look at you and I have to have conversation with you. And so because that happens, then I get distracted. So that's why it takes so long for us to finish these projects, because I get distracted. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're complicated or difficult. It's just because I get distracted. That is all it is. Intermission over. She's funny. Alright, and this is probably this was a good project to pick for today, because like I said, I knew we were going to be missing some friends today. I mean, it's a holiday. I get it. I totally understand. You should be with your friends and family on a holiday more than anybody on YouTube. So I 100% get that. I'm never upset about that. So this was the perfect project to do because it's mostly just cutting. There's not a whole lot of sewing going on today. Jean says, you must be my sister, Danny, because I do the same thing. And then I forget to finish what it was I was talking about before I get distracted. What was I saying? Oh my gosh. Speaking of distracted, Mr. Wizard, I tell him this all the time. He's always asking me, because like things will randomly pop into my head. And then he watches me do weird stuff. Like, you know how you go into a room and then you get distracted and remember something else. So Mr. Wizard came up to me this morning. I have to tell you this story because it's so funny. He came up to me this morning and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I almost had a meltdown." And I said, "What? Are you okay? What happened?" And he goes, I don't remember exactly how everything went, so forgive me if Mr. Wizard, if you're watching, because I don't remember the exact story, but he did say, he goes, "I started to put the dishes away." He goes, "And I looked down and I noticed that the garbage can was full." He goes, "So I popped the garbage can open and I pulled the garbage can out and I went out into the garage to put it in the garbage can, in the garbage." He goes, "And then I saw something," I forget what he said he saw out in the garage, but he saw something out in the garage that reminded him he needed to do something else. So he put the garbage in the garbage can, grabbed that, went to go do that, came back in the kitchen to do something else, realized he never put the bag into the can in the kitchen. So then he had to put the bag in, and then he was forgetting about the laundry. And he's like, the whole time I'm thinking, oh my God, Danny does this all the damn time. What is wrong with me? He just got completely distracted with all the different tasks that he was doing. And he's telling me about this, and I'm going, yeah. All the time, every day. That is an everyday occurrence in my brain. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. So I didn't tell the story nearly as funny as he did this morning, but it was quite hysterical when he was telling me about it. And I'm just like, yeah, every day. I get distracted by things all day long, every day. I cannot tell you how many times I enter a room and think to myself, what did I come in here for? All the time. Prep 46 says the people in here are a lot quieter than my relatives. Squirrel disease. Yeah, Fern, that's a good one. Yeah, I call it squirrel disease. That's for sure. Too funny. Yeah, like I said, he told the story much more funny this morning. But it was, I mean, we can all relate. We've all done it. But for him, it's not usually something he doesn't usually get distracted that easily, and he was completely distracted this morning, so it was quite entertaining. He's just like, I don't know how you do this all the time. How do you ever get anything done? I'm like, I don't. I don't. I said, that's why you often find half-empty things, The silverware on the counter because I forgot to put them away. Stuff like that. It happens. That's the ADD in me. All right. Cut my little 1-inch pieces. All right. I have hiccups again. My 6 little 1-inch pieces. Yeah, this particular project is kind of easy to keep everything together because I just keep all the different sizes, biggest on the bottom, smallest on the top, and I just clip them with the binder clip. Excuse me. Jean says I'm OCD. Jean says I'm OCD, so I'd be following around behind you, finishing what you started. Been there too. Been there too. Not all the time, but definitely been there too. My t-shirt keeps rolling up on me. It's annoying me. Fern says I do that too in my sewing room. She says I have a lot of projects started and I just need to sit down and finish something. I know how you feel with that sometimes. Too funny. You guys are so funny. All right. Looks like we'll have at least one more episode of cutting to do for this particular project. I got almost all of them done. I think I've got, let's see, 4 more left. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5, 6 more to do to cut up. So I definitely won't get those done today. We'll probably have at least one more episode of cutting for this particular project. That's okay though. I don't mind the cutting days because we kind of get a chance to slow down a little bit, chat, giggle. Jean, that is fantastic. I am impressed that you are able to do more than one thing at a time. Jean says that, by the way, I've been working on my quilt the whole time while chatting. Thanks for getting something accomplished also. That is awesome. What does my shirt say? My shirt says, it's from my sister. It says, the crazy aunt you were warned about. I have a nephew, and I think when I can't remember if it was after he was born, the Christmas after he was born or the Christmas before he was born. She bought me this t-shirt, and I just happened to find it in the drawer this morning, and I was like, "Ooh, I can wear that." I am probably a little bit of the crazy aunt. The fabric is a little off, and it's throwing me off here. Give me just a second here, guys. There we go. So cute shirt. Yes, thank you, Fern. Thank you. And my sister, she got it for me. I don't remember exactly when she got it for me. I have a nephew who is, oh gosh, forgive me. I think he's 3, maybe 4. I'm terrible with ages. I'm absolutely terrible with ages. I think he's 4. No. Yeah, I think he's 4. And I have I have 2 step nephews and 3 step nieces. So I'm an aunt quite a few times over. And I probably am the crazy aunt. right. I'm sure this would go much faster if I was cutting more than one flat quarter at a time and if I had a larger cutting surface. Like if I was doing this off camera, I would pull out my large, because I have a really big cutting mat, you know, like the ones you would see at the quilt stores. I have one of those really big ones. And when I'm cutting my yardage fabric in big pieces, I will pull that out, and I actually put that on my kitchen island in my kitchen. So if I was doing this off camera, I probably would do that. And then this would have cut up much faster. But I wanted to make sure, like with these projects on camera, I like to make sure that I do as much of it as I can on camera. So then that way, if you guys are following along and sewing along with me, you can keep up with us. Or if you're watching this as a replay and you want to make these projects, you can also follow along that way as well. There is a method to my madness, I promise. Cut those. There we go. Mr. Wizard, for those of you who remember Mr. Wizard, my husband, Mr. Wizard, he does model cars. He makes model cars. That's his hobby. And he's fantastic at it. I mean, he's truly talented at it. The last few weekends, he's had a lot of shows and things that he's been attending. So he hasn't been home on Sundays. He's been doing that. And just recently, he decided to put together an airplane, which is not normally something he would do. Usually it's cars that he works with. But he decided to put an airplane together, and it's really cool. I mean, I'm not really big into airplanes. I don't know a lot about them. It's a war airplane of some kind. Again, I'm not really into that kind of stuff, but he is, and so he put one together, a Corsair, I think it's called. Pretty neat. Usually I show you guys when he makes a new car. I'll bring it on the channel and let you guys see it. But he hasn't been making any recently because he's been so busy with all the shows and stuff. And I didn't even think about the airplane this morning. Maybe I'll grab it for next week if he's not doing something with it. Fern says I give up, the slots are mean. You know, some days you win them, sometimes you don't. I want to apologize to you guys. I have not put up my April schedule yet. That is one of the things on my to-do list for today. I had meant to do it actually a couple weeks ago, and I just kind of didn't. So that is on my to-do list today. So keep an eye on the channel and our social medias for that. Our next After Dark edition is 2 weeks from now, I believe. We'll be doing Clue 3. I'm not sure what kind of shenanigans they've got planned. They always have something going. Oh, okay. I think we've got time for one more, so we'll do one more. One more now just means one less later. Oh. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to the channel. No worries. She says gonna lurk because I'm at my son's house. No worries. We appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for joining us. You can always catch the replay later. There's no, there's no need to stress over catching the live. The replays are always available. In fact, on some of the replays, I've actually went back and started editing them to cut out the 10-minute countdown at the beginning, because I know that can be kind of a pain. So you'll see some of the videos have been edited to remove that. Make it a little bit easier for you guys to watch the replays. And there are playlists for each project. So if you're trying to catch up on a specific project, just find the replay on our main page. Just find the playlist, and then that way you can catch up on it that way. Oops. There we go. That one was still connected a little bit. Fern says, Danny, your ears remind me of the Cadbury bunny. Bok, bok, meow. Bok, bok, meow. You think I can be the new Cadbury bunny? Oh. I think the llama is the newest one for this year. I think that's what Mr. Wizard said. He was telling me about it the other day. I just like the buck buck meow. I'm not even a huge cat person, but I just love that one. I think that one's just so funny. Lots of birthdays coming up in April this year. We've got my mom's birthday, Cheryl's birthday. My mom's anniversary is in April. Lots of April birthdays coming up. If your birthday is in April this year, well, I guess it would be April every year, wouldn't it? Don't mind me. If your birthday is in April, please send me an email. Let me know. I'd love to send you a gift. A little birthday card and a gift. Speaking of gifts, Fern, did you receive your fat quarters? I know I mailed them. I promise you this time they were mailed. We had a little bit of a delay getting them out to you, and I apologize for that. Life got in the way. But they were mailed to you. You should be receiving them soon. If not already. Oh, good. You did get them. Good, good, good. You're welcome. I tried to pick out some spring colors for you. Just a reminder to all of you, with regards to the thimbles program, you can redeem those thimbles in for random fat quarters. I have just an absolute ton of them. It seems to be the pre-cut that I veer towards the most often are fat quarters. So sometimes I just have random ones from the cut cuts bins, and then other times I have actual kits that I'll break up. Or extras from, the scrap pieces of fabric that we have. So you can redeem your thimbles in for a random fat quarter. There's also other prizes as well to choose from. If you do exclamation point prizes in chat, it'll tell you all a little bit more about the prizes available. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. It's available to all of our subscribers in US and Canada. All right. Ooh, that went fast. That one actually went pretty quickly. We might be able to do one more. Trying to get as many of them done as I can now, so that the next time we come back to this, which I believe is in April, actually, I don't know if it is in April, because we may not have a resilience in April. But either way, the next time we come back to it, there'll be less cutting, and we'll be able to get to a little bit of sewing, or at least some of the organizing, the block planning. We'll be able to get to that. We're going to be doing some block planning. And, get that sheet going. Sylvia says, the sun has come out, so I must go for a walk. No problem, Sylvia. We completely understand. If your weather is going to be anything like mine today, catch the sun when you can. Because I'm told it's going to do nothing but rain all day today. But that's okay. I'm going to be spending the majority of my day in my quilt room here. I'm going to be working on our April schedule. Who knows? I might just pop the camera on for a little while and do an impromptu live. Just about kind of the behind the scenes stuff. We'll see how things go. You never know. I do crazy stuff like that a lot. But you have a fantastic weekend, rest of your weekend and Easter. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. We really appreciate it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Fern says she's been sick, so she hasn't been sewing a lot. Fern, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling better. My mom has also been sick. She's had some... She caught that virus, which we shall not name. Which shall remain nameless. So her and my stepdad, her hubby, were sick for Well, I mean, they were each sick for about a week, so I think she's just starting to feel like normal again this week. Unfortunately, she missed our trip to see the girls for their birthday because she was sick. She was really bummed about it. She was pretty upset, but you know, it is what it is. Your health is way more important. Also, I wanted to give it's kind of silly, but a little shout out, I guess, to the hotel that we stayed at. Was really nice. Wasn't super expensive, wasn't super high end, but the staff there were just so sweet. We stayed at the Courtyard Marriott in Peoria. The staff there were just fantastic. They were just so kind and just so much fun to hang out with and be around. It really made for a very pleasant experience. You know, I mean, we've stayed in a lot of hotels. We usually go with the lower end options. Nothing super cheap. But you know, we're basically just there to sleep, you know. So we're not going to spend a ton of money on it. We had a really great experience there. The staff there was just fantastic. They had a little bar downstairs, which was kind of neat. Nothing super crazy, but it was, you know, nice to have a little cocktail before bed. Cheryl and I enjoyed ourselves. They had a pool and a jacuzzi as well. Cute little facilities. We did not end up participating in either one of those. We were just so busy. My goodness, we were running around from the time we got up in the morning until the time we went to bed. So we were just all over the place. So we really didn't participate in the swimming or adventures. But we did check out the facility just to kind of get an idea for it. We had brought our suits with us just in case. We weren't really sure. We didn't really have a full plan of what the weekend was going to entail. But it turned out to be okay. Beds were you know, comfortable as could be for an inexpensive hotel. The plumbing worked. The rooms were clean. So if you're in the area, I recommend that hotel. It was off the expressway, but you really didn't hear the expressway noise, which is one of the things I was really impressed with. We were right off the expressway, but you really didn't hear it. They did a pretty good job with soundproofing. Fern says she thinks that, oh yeah. Well, my mom and her hubby both. My stepdad is he's pretty sick. He's well, I'm not sure if he's comfortable with me disclosing about his health, so I won't give you too many details. But we'll just say he's really sick, and so his immune system is kind of compromised because of his illness. And so, you know, things like, you know, the virus, which shall not be named, and the flu and things like that really hit him hard. So he was down for the count. He was on some antiviral medication, which I'm told from my mom was helping. But it was still a bit of a struggle. So they were both down for the count. We tried to keep my mom updated as far as our shenanigans for the weekend. Tried to keep her updated as to where we were at and what we were doing. I'm sliding in my chair. Okay. All right, so it looks like we've gotten, let's see, how many did we get done today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7 of them done. That's pretty good. Just put those in the bin here. We're going to add those to the 2, 3, 4, 5 that we had done before. Take the scraps. I keep all of the scraps for every project in a Ziploc bag in the bin, because in case I need, because you know it yourself, sometimes you cut things a little bit too short, or you just need a little extra or whatever. So I don't get rid of any of the scraps unless they're really tiny, for a project until I'm completely done with it. Sometimes we do a giveaway for our scrap fabrics. I've done a couple of them before. I haven't done one in a while. Sometimes we do a giveaway on the channel of the scrap fabrics from a project. Sometimes they include full fat quarters. Like this one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fat quarters left from this project. We might use those for a binding later. I might cut those up into smaller pieces and use those as part of the binding. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But then I've got 5 or 6 of them left here. I think there's 5 here left to do. We're just going to fold those up. Put those in the bin as well. There we go. And then last but not least is our pattern. Again, for those of you who weren't here earlier, here's what our project is going to look like. It's like some different X's. Maybe a star kind of pattern thing. It's really kind of neat. I like it. I think it looks really cool. I love the fact that it's going to utilize all these fabrics in nice big chunks. So we're going to be able to see it really nicely. And so there you go. Put this away. Oops. Put that away. There we go. All right, friends. Well, that is it for today. I know we didn't get a whole lot of sewing done today, but that's all right. You know, sometimes with these projects at the start, you really have to prep all your fabrics first. Once we get everything cut up, then we're going to start laying everything out, and then we are going to start putting this thing together. I think it's going to go together pretty quickly, at least from what I've read of the instructions so far. It looks like it's going to go together really well. I can't remember, because I did it a while ago, but I can't remember if we're actually going to be able to get to this project in April. I think this is a May project. I think we had to rotate it up to May because we've got some other things going on in April. I will have to check again. Oh, thank you, Fern. Fern says we're gonna put him in our prayers. I think she's talking about my stepdad, so I appreciate that. I'm sure he'll appreciate that as well. Thank you. So yeah, so that's where we're at with that one. I don't even remember what we're doing next week, to be perfectly honest. So the rest of today, I'm going to spend some time setting up our schedule for April. Check out our social media pages. Keep an eye on our channel here. I'll start to put previews of all of our videos. We will definitely have one next Sunday. Next Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, so it will be a half an hour later than normal. Normally we start at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, but the first Sunday of every month we do a virtual breakfast with our kids because they're all away at different colleges. So we do a virtual breakfast with them that goes from 9 to 10. So I like to give myself an extra half an hour between that and the schedule here. So we start our stream half an hour later at 11 a.m. Central Time. So I will see you guys next Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Time. I do not remember what project we are working on. I think it's Home Sweet Home, but I'm not entirely certain. Next month, April, is going to be a busy month for us. I've got a bunch of things set up. Lucas is going to start to become a little bit more active in the channel, not just with regards to in chatting as a one of our my brain just completely shut. Did you see it? It just like completely shut off. Oh my gosh. Not just as our moderator, but he's also going to become a special guest, a regular special guest here on the channel, not just during our After Dark edition, but he's going to be working on a project himself. He had won a Charm Square pack a couple of months ago. I think this was either in December or January. And so he and I have been talking about it. He's been asking me for probably the good part of the last year to teach him how to sew. He wants to learn how. He wants to learn more about what we do on the channel. He has learned so much already, just with regards to our terminology and our techniques and things like that. But he's never actually applied them. He's never sat behind a sewing machine. He's never used one before. So he and I actually have a couple of meetings here in April on Saturdays off camera, so that he's not stressed about that, to learn about a sewing machine, how to use one, and then we're going to be starting in a couple of projects. He's got this charm square pack project that we're going to be working on. He needs to pick a pattern for that. We're going to be working on that. And then he also has asked me about a t-shirt project. And you guys know, because I've said it before, t-shirt projects are not my favorite. They're really not. But I understand that they're really nice to have. They're great memorabilia type of situation. And he has asked me if that's something that would be easy enough for him to do. I think it's a little bit more advanced for a brand new sewer, but I'm hoping that with my guidance and me sitting here helping him, we'll be able to do it. So we're going to look at that. I think he said he's got 9 t-shirts that he wants to work with. So I need to take a look at the t-shirts and figure out if they're just fronts or front and backs and things like that. So that may or may not be a project that ends up on the channel probably later in the year. We've got quite a bit going on already. Or that might just be something that he does off camera. We're not really sure yet. So he's looking forward to it. He's really excited about it. I'm really excited to teach him about it, and things like that. One of the other people that I mentioned, she was on the channel once before, and she really hasn't made her debut again recently, but I might ask her to come back, was Susie. She was on the channel back in October of last year. She's another student that I've been teaching her how to garment sew. So she's actually making clothing. She's going to be back again probably next weekend. She'll be back here with me, not on camera, again, off camera. But she is at a point now where she is actually making clothing. We've gotten to the point where we've made the pattern, we've cut the fabric, and we've actually started sewing pieces together. So it's exciting for her, especially for a brand new sewer, someone who's never used never used a machine before. There are some things that we're just not going to be able to do 100% the way we would want to, but we're going to keep working through it. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. Hopefully she'll be here next week. I haven't talked to her in a little bit, so we'll see how things go. Again, off camera. She's not on camera, but I might snap some pictures and share them with you on our socials. I'm just trying to think of what else I've got going on. I have so many projects in my brain and pieces that I have for them. I'm just really excited for this year. I have taken a quick peek. I know you guys remember at the beginning of the year we set up our channel goals. Right there. Da-da-da-da. Well, one of the projects that we had here was our Resilient project, which is the first one on the list. The next one coming up is our Tiffany project. You will see this one on the channel either at the end of April or beginning of May. We're going to start on that one. And then I also have a note in here that says, use your stash, no new fabrics. Well, broke that rule already, didn't I? And then we also have finished 4 whips and with some FMQs and PMQs. So that is one of the things we will be working on here soon. I do keep an eye on this. I keep peeking at it, trying to make sure that we are focused on our goals for this year. It's important for me to stay on task. Otherwise, I have a tendency to just kind of go off on my own. All right, guys. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was Easter Sunday, so I'm sure there are quite a few of our regulars that are missing today, and that is okay. If those regulars are catching the live stream afterwards, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber. Make sure you leave a comment down below so I know you were here. I like to just kind of thank you again personally for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. We do live streams every Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. We also do at least one live stream on a Saturday evening. We call that our After Dark edition, which is a little more fun. it's a little bit of a different format, but it's still a lot of fun, and we have a great time. So everybody, I wish you a very, very happy Easter. Please don't eat too much ham or turkey or lamb or whatever it is that you so choose. Please don't overindulge. And I hope that you have a wonderful time with your friends and family. All right, guys, I will see you again next weekend. Yeah. Talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye for now. Courage
you said.